Hello everybody, welcome back. Today we're going to be discovering the sensing blocks for Scratch. And for those who are not familiar with these tutorials I've been doing or web videos, we've started with working on some projects at the beginning that came from a book, Coding for Kids in Scratch 3. And now I'm just going over what the actual blocks in Scratch do. So today we're going to be covering the sensing blocks. So sensing blocks, they're basically blocks that detect things. Let's see, so let's go ahead and start with the touching. The touching block here can be used to see if the sprite is touching the mouse, like I said here, mouse pointer or the edge of the screen. Now we have this one. This one detects color. Detects if you're touching a certain color. So depending on I guess if you want to create a maze project, that could be an application. If you want to create a maze project and you do a maze of a certain color and you want to check for that color, see if your sprite touches that color, then you can use this block. And as you can see down here, right here, it has a little drop tier thing that you can use to get the color of a, they say you already have the color but you don't know the actual numbers to put here, and that will help you get the color. For example, if we do this, it gives us a color. This one's slightly different because this one is, if another color is touching a different color, then do something with that. These are just sensing. It senses if this color touches that color, then we do an action. This one detects the distance to the mouse. Just wondering why there was a drop down menu. There's only one option. So yeah, this one just detects the distance to your mouse versus the actual touching the mouse. So that's the difference between the two. This one touches, it only reacts if it touches. This one reacts depending on the distance. And this one can be used in any of these to check the distance, if it's greater than 50 or depending on what you're trying to check. We use this one with our AI chatbot project. This one basically just asks and waits. So it asks a question or something and I'll wait. Not much to that one. And this is just the answer variable. So this stores the answer to what was asked up here on this one. This one stores it so that you, like our chatbot, you can use it for learning. This one detects if any of the keys, so it checks all the keys on the keyboard depending on which you choose is pressed. And we used this one several times. We used it for some projects, and it's basically used to move around or things like that. And it senses the keys. And then we have the mouse out. It checks if the mouse is clicking, or like they call it here, down. This one and this one can be used to check the mouse position, so they react based on the mouse X and Y position. This one just sets the sprite to drag or not drag, and I don't think we've used this one before. Yeah, we haven't used this one before. I was trying to look online and see if we can find a small little example. But yeah, we'll cover those later in some other projects, but that one was never used before. It just has to do with the way that the sprite looks like on the screen, whether you're dragging it or not dragging. This one is this one detects how loud the noise is in the microphone, so the sensing of the microphone. And it's a variable, so it's a variable, so you use that for other stuff. This one keeps track of time. This is a timer, and this one resets the timer itself. This one here, I believe we used before. Yes, we have. And depending on what we use, because we can make our own variables. If we use volume, it'll, I guess not, but it does change if you have a variable, but I guess on the other ones is stage. But this one reacts on the based on the what you give it, the option of something, so it checks for both, for those two. You can give it the X and the Y too as well here when you create a variable. Size, yeah, we'll go in more we'll use these ones and see how we can apply them to projects later. This one just checks reacts on the year or whatever you select here. Oh, that is interesting. This one keeps actual days since 2000. I wonder what kind of application we could do with this one. Never used it before. It'll be fun. That one will be a fun one to explore later. But if you guys see right here, that's how many days have passed since 2000. And this one's a username, another variable. And that's it for these blocks. These are the sensing blocks, and again, they allow for things to react depending on what is detected. These are blocks that detect things, and then depending on your logic, have other things executed. Thank you very much, everybody, and have a great day. I'll see you guys later. Bye bye.